Analysis is on TikTok. TikTok is a social media video sharing app that allows users to share short videos. In the app, you can add augmented reality stickers and filters to the videos. And in 2020, it was the most downloaded app in the Apple App Store. For the two clips that we're looking at, the first one is one of a girl having a COVID test in her car, and the second one is a sarcastic take on the UK's coronavirus stance.
Crinkle your nose, okay? Relax. Don't pull away and don't.
That's why I have my head against the...
Okay, it goes in deep, but just bear with it. It's 5 seconds each side. Okay, and I'm gonna pause in between to give you a second, okay?
It's not that bad. It's just...
You feel like you snorted pool water?
Yeah. I'm a swimmer.
That's what it feels like. Somebody said that's not pool water, that's battery acid. That's what
it's battery acid.
You tell me when you're ready, honey.
I'm not ready, but
you ready?
Was I good?
You did good. You did good. Oh, well, why is that not? Okay, here we go.
So for our first video, the video is unedited, so we can see from start to finish what being tested actually entails. The purpose of the video we thought wasn't educational but indirectly informative, as you can see like the entirety of having a COVID test. The comments from the people were mostly about how they were more scared of having the test than the virus, and one of the most liked comments was about this, with over 123,000 likes and 790 responses. The majority of the comments were either agreeing with her that it was a horrible experience, or they were opposing her and sort of saying that it was not a big deal. This user, Maddie, has over 2.3 million followers, and this is her most viewed video on her profile, with 18.8 million views since it came out. In this particular video, the user says she got tested because of a fear of having the virus, and she in the comment section said, "I got tested because I was afraid I got exposed to it, and because I'm responsible, I got tested so I didn't spread it just in case," which seems like she's justifying why she's had a test. For the title of the TikTok, it's a very bad experience, 1 out of 10, #COVID, #Corona. And this immediately tells us that how the user feels and how we're meant to feel consequently. The affect response of this video is that we don't want to get a test, and that we sort of share in her discomfort because we can see how uncomfortable she is and how stressed she is. And that's evident through her grabbing the steering wheel, coughing, and looking scared before the swab is put in her nose. Thus, both descriptions of what it feels like and her reaction triggers us to feel very uncomfortable. She says after the first swab's taken up her nostril, that wasn't that bad, but the way she reacts implies the complete opposite.
In terms of positioned categories, you obviously have the person getting the test taken and the person actually doing the test. Whether this is like a nurse or volunteer, it still has the same effect. The way the video is shot is quite interesting because it's shot from inside the car, so we get her perspective and feel affiliated to her. We can only see the tester's arm, which means, like, without the sound, it could be quite a scary process, as you can see from her like face at the beginning of the video when it's getting explained to her. But once you put the sound in, you can tell that the tester is really relaxed, reassuring to her, laughs along with the girl, almost motherly in the way she does it. This could be due to like an age gap between the two. She calls her honey, indicating like a caring relationship towards the person getting tested, because she's clearly a young girl. At the end of the video, she reinforces the position categories by asking for justification and whether she did well, potentially out of being scared of having to do it again. But she reinforces power dynamic between the tester and the person taking the test. Again, in the comments, this can be shown. The top comment with 229,000 likes is just, that woman was really nice. So that shows how people were thinking about this positionality of the tester and how she reassured the young girl whilst taking the test when she was clearly scared. There is also a remix of the original video that only has 500,000 views, but this is heavily edited, which affects the viewing because it shows that she clearly picked out the portion of unedited video for the original, and then having edited the second shows kind of bits that she, either side of the video, the original, that she's kind of included. So you can tell she's carefully picked the middle bit of the test that she wants people to see. In terms of intersectionality, it's limited in the video as we only really get the view from inside the car, and we can only see like the arm of the nurse. But in terms of her being an ethnic minority female and a young TikTok user, it kind of shows that TikTok gives a platform for everyone, regardless of age or ethnicity, to be able to like create their own sort of voice.
This is a TikTok about how different countries are dealing with the second wave of COVID-19. It seems to be designed for comical use, drawing upon how badly the UK is dealing with the pandemic in comparison to other countries. However, our positionality in the UK means, despite comical at first, there are definitely undertones of fear, apprehension, and panic created. The use of music in this TikTok is also significant in the effective response. The sound of sirens portrays an association between the COVID crisis and war. It highlights how intense the situation is and the necessity of seeking shelter, leading to feelings of danger and panic. This is then contrasted when the focus turns to the UK and the song Break My Stride by Matthew Wilder is played. This is a well-known upbeat song with lyrics such as "Ain't nothing gonna break my stride," implying nothing will stop the UK going to the pub. Both the music itself and the lyrics imply the laid-back approach to COVID taken in the UK, adding to the comical value for others, but a sense of fear for us in the UK, leading us to question our approach to the crisis.
It's also interesting that the user uses the phrase "let's hit up the pub," as the pub is very specific to British culture, and in that sense it's quite colloquial. It's also interesting as you can't hear them say this, as the overhead audio is the song Break My Stride. But by withholding their audio, it potentially adds to the success of the video, appearing as more representative of the UK population, as in essence you can add your own voice and in a sense add your own narrative to the situation and imagine yourself saying that. There's also very purposeful use of sound. The air raid signs, as Phoebe mentioned, signified war, especially if we think about World War II. It's very much at the forefront in British psyche when you look at films, documentaries, or school history curriculum and dramatisations. It's a very popularised period in UK history. And for this reason, the use of an air raid sign in particular is quite tactful rather than perhaps using a police siren, and it's very much a response to affect. The running indoors for shelter and hiding in a bath visual are also perhaps reminiscent of the Anderson shelter that was used in like World War II. Essentially, the reaction of danger is similar to that of a bomb and not necessarily appropriate for an airborne disease. You'd perhaps maybe expect them to use hand sanitizer or be in a hazmat suit. And this again kind of highlights the association in British culture of war and terror. On another note, it's quite interesting that it appears that the man in the white t-shirt has asked someone from another household if they want to go to the pub towards the second half of the video. The man in the white t-shirt is on the doorsteps and the shirtless man is inside. The shirtless man also does not feature on earlier scenes of the video, which further adds to the assumption that the UK have been more careless in their approach towards the coronavirus by socialising perhaps with members of different households. This also adds to the purpose of the video, which is very much to mock the UK for its supposed lack of response to the coronavirus. It's also quite interesting when you look at the use of hashtags. So some of the hashtags used, for example, are For You page, viral, and TikTok, as you can see on the right-hand side. Essentially, the user that's created the video really wants to attract lots of viewers. It's also potentially why he chose Spain, Italy and the US as comparison countries, as these countries have quite high engagement with the app. So he's really just trying to get himself viral, and that adds to some of the context behind the clip. So now we're moving on to some conclusions and some key takeaways from the TikToks that we've analysed. In response to ethno-methodology, TikTok is a very useful ethno-methodological tool, as it acts as a medium to view and interact with users to study the way that these members create and maintain a sense of order and intelligibility in their social lives. So it's really valuable in assessing the socio-technical cultural productions of everyday life.
It also creates an interactive experience. Through the For You page and the promotion of globalized content, TikTok creates a community of creators and viewers. This is especially useful in a context such as COVID. The two examples we have used illustrate how the platform can be used as a conversational tool to inform and also make jest out of the situation.
Another key takeaway is the affect theory. So with the use of both visual and audio tools, TikToks are often constructed for a specific purpose to make you feel a certain way. And the contrast of these two videos in particular, the first being unedited and the second one being edited, highlights the effectiveness of this.
It was important to consider the ethical component of these videos. None of the videos contained sensitive information, and this was done purposefully so as not to engage with ethical considerations of consent. And also all the participants in this video were over the age of 18 and considered adult.